Alright guys, welcome to our next Garageband lesson. Today we're going to be working on loops. So, when I say loops, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to add this plus sign, start a new song. We are not talking about live loops today. A lot of these are pre-recorded things that come with GarageBand. We're not using our live loops today. We'll go over those another time. So today we are working on composing with loops. Now there is a downside to iPad's GarageBand versus a Mac GarageBand where you have to record an instrument before you can actually add any loops and such. So here's what I'd like everyone to do. You are going to create your own loop using drums, just to keep it nice and simple. You can choose either acoustic drums or electronic drums. That should be it for right now. So let's say I choose acoustic drums. And all we're going to do is create a 4-beat pattern. Now this 4-beat pattern could be as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4. Or it could be as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, so anything as long as it's only 4 beats. Now, in order to make this all fit well together, we have to make sure that our settings are in order. So we're going to press this wrench right here. We're going to double check and make sure time signature is 4/4. And then you can choose whatever key signature you want. So if today you decide, you know what, maybe I want to try D major or I want to try B flat minor, that is up to you, and I will leave that up to you guys. You can, and make sure that the follow the song key is selected so that all of your stuff stays in tune. I will also let you choose how fast you want your song to go today. So we've been hovering in the low 100s. So let's say you're like, oh, I really want a song that's going to be bum, bum, bum. So if you tap this button right here, the numbers adjust and gives you a tempo. So I kind of want a song that's at 115, clearly. So I'm going to keep it at that good 115. And that's going to be my tempo. You guys can choose faster, slower, whatever you want. Then make sure that your metronome is on and that you have a count in, so you've got 4 beats to get ready. Now remember, your loop is only 4 beats long. It's going to be very short. So, for example, I am going, and make sure your metronome is on so you can get that count in. And then let's say I did a record. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my loop. So let's play it. And in a moment when we go to tracks, I could keep that and just loop it back. Now let's say I didn't like that, I just press undo and I go back to the beginning and I try it again with recording. And let's say that's my pattern right there. Now you can tell that it's exactly 4 beats because it will take up one measure. It'll be one green bar right here in between 1 and 2. That's how you know it's a measure. If it's longer than that, then you didn't do 4 beats, you went over. If it's shorter than that, you didn't do 4 beats, you went under. Now once you have something that you like, you're going to go to the trackpad. But I'm going to remind you one more time, another way you could look at this is you could work not with a kit, but with a pad. So these have all the instruments just laid out in a different way. So let's say I record my loop as the following. I always love using the pad. I think it's a lot more fun. And you can play 2 instruments at once. I will leave this completely up to you. The only thing you have to remember, once again, 4 beats, only 1 bar. Now let's say you have a loop that you like. Alright, I like that loop, so I'm going to go to tracks, which is this button right here, and you're going to click that. Once you ring it, you are here. Ta-da! Now we want to loop this. But before we do that, we want to make sure that our song is in a good, is set up properly. So we're going to go to the wrench, or not to the wrench, we're going to go to the plus sign, and we are going to make sure that our song is the correct amount of beats and measures for us. So select section A, and I want everybody to make sure that A is 8 counts. Then we're going to go on from there in a second, but for now just make sure it's 8 counts. Now obviously this doesn't fill up all 8 counts, so what we need to do first is we need to double tap it, and then we're going to click loop, and it filled it all in. So now I've got a loop. Now here is the rest of your composition, and it's super easy. You must pick 3 loops that you are going to add to this one. So you have your recording, which is its own loop, and then you also have you also will have 3 additional ones that come from the database that Apple has given you. So the way you access those is you find this little loop symbol right here in the top right hand corner, and you're going to pick 3 loops. Now I am going to give you complete freedom here in terms of what loops you choose. Just make sure that they sound good, okay? Now, let's see. This one just came up right. Alright, so that doesn't quite go with my theme. I'm just going to go all over the place. So I can go with descriptors like, I want something that's grooving, and I could click that, and then I'm going to find loops that fit with that. Or I could reset that altogether. You can also search it by instrument. So if we go to instrument, you can select here. I will let you choose any instrument you want, so let's say it's strings. I'm going to go with, okay, so I like that. So to add a loop, you just click and drag, and that filled it all in. Now, the other thing that you have complete freedom on in this one is you can decide if a loop will last the whole section, if it will just last part of it. So let's say you want to drag it and have it only be this, or maybe you wanted it to happen just right in the middle. You can use your fingers to shape all of that, to move it down, move it here. You could have one loop here, one loop here, one loop here, whatever you want, or have all of them going at the same time, which is what I'm going to do just to start. There you go. So I've got one. Let's make sure it sounds good. All right, cool, I like it. Let's add a few more, and I'm just going to do this very quickly. So let's go. I would love to add a tambourine next. All right, I like that one. I'm going to add that one in. And let's do one more, because remember, you got to have at least 3 loops. Let's not do any more than 5. I know some of you will get ambitious. Just keep it simple. And let's do a bass. Oh, I like that, because that might sound super weird with my stuff. So let's play it. And the great thing about GarageBand is that they will line all of it up. So all of your beats are in the right place. You're all in the same key. It's all great. Now, let's say there are a couple things. Let's say you were like, ooh, that synth bass is a little loud. So you can go over to this left side and drag it on over, and you can get the balance. Like, man, I really want to hear more of my own loops. So I'm bringing that up. I'm going to bring down the tambourine, the synth, and now I've got, so the balance is slightly different. So you can do that. Now the other thing, remember, is you can choose the formation of your loops. So I do want your loop to go on the whole time. Your loop should go on the whole time because it's the original loop. Now let's say I decided I would really like it if I could put these every 2 bars. So like I layer them in. So let's say that I have mine just to start, then I add in this one, then I add in this one, and then I do this one last but not least. Oh, and this one is a little bit longer, so we'll have to go with that. Yeah, let's say we do that. So let's say I wanted to add those in like that. So that's an entirely different formation. So it changes the way it sounds entirely. So play around with it, see what sounds good to you, and go with it. Once you have found a formation that works for you, that you really like, and if you have time, here's what I would encourage you to do. Let's say that I went with this, I went with a layering thing, and I decided that these are all going to be, let's see, where's my loop? Oh, that this is going to be my first section. Let's say I decided, man, I would really love to have another section. So if you have the time, what you're going to do is you're going to create another part of the song, and your job is to make it so that it contrasts. And if you don't do this now, you'll end up doing it next week. So you can work ahead, do whatever you want. So in order to make this, so I've got my first section, it's 8 beats. We're going to go press the plus sign, and then you are going to click add, and that creates a B section. Now B section, you see behind here, it's nice and empty. There's nothing on it, but it's 8 bars, and make sure it's the same number of bars as your first one. So if A is 8 bars, then B is going to be 8 bars. Now you have that. This is completely empty. It's a blank slate. You've still got your tracks here, and we can copy and paste them on over. So the way you get back to your A section is you can just swipe and it'll bring you there. So let's say I do want you to keep your original track, so you're going to press copy, and then you can press paste. Or you can record a new track, and in order to do that, you could go right here, back to instruments, and if you have time for a B section, you can choose any instrument you want as long as it is a 4-beat pattern. So let's go to guitar. Let's say I'm going to go to guitar right here, and it has to be a 4-beat pattern, so let's try it. So if I go, that was kind of bad. All right, so I don't do that and redo it. So let's say I practice a little bit first. I might go, or whatever I'd like. So let's try it. If I record and go, it's just okay. Now, that goes really fast, so that ended up being 8 beats. So once again, one more time, let's keep it nice and simple. 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Let's say I just hit one note that whole time. Cool, so 4 counts. Now I go back over here. I've got my loop, and I'm just gonna loop it all the way through. Oh, that didn't quite do the trick, did it? All right, so double click, loop, and it's done. Now, you can add a whole nother set of tracks if you would like. You can reuse these loops, or you can do different ones. I would love to use a different one because I want to have a contrasting section, because here's my A section, right? Looks one way. Let's have a B section that's entirely different. So you go on, you add loops. I will once again leave that completely up to you. You can use bongos, maracas, whatever you want, as long as you have one original loop and 3 Apple loops. That is all I ask. And make sure that you are in 4/4 time. The way you can do that is click the wrench at any point. Make sure it's in 4/4, and make sure that you have a set key that you're going to be in, and make sure that each section is 8 beats long. Other than that, you have complete freedom. Now remember, once you're done, you're going to click My Songs, which will automatically save what you were working on, and you double click. You put your name, so let's see, it's hard to see, but you would put your name, and then you would upload it onto Google Drive. So, going back here. So remember to upload it to Google Drive. You press select, click here, the upload button right here, click Google Drive. Just go right past this page, just click share, and it will bring you to the next part once it loads. All right, and once it does that, I'll give it a second. Even if it's signed on to someone else, go ahead and click Garageband Projects and then upload. And that should put it directly to the account. All right, and that is your task for this week. Remember, one more time, 4/4 time, 4/4 time. Make sure you have one original loop and you have 3 Apple loops. Make sure that your section is 8 bars, and other than that, you are free to do as you wish. If you want to move ahead, make a B section. Remember that the B section should be different. All right, other than that, happy composing, and I can't wait to hear what you guys make.